Hi, everybody. It's Linda G. Live and well in Northern California. I did some running around today. I saw my nail lady, and then I got my car washed, and then I went to the store, just got a few things. So now it's about 3 o'clock here on the West Coast. Oh, I don't know where I got this hiccup from. All of a sudden, I got this hiccup. Did that wing just move? That was weird. So these are from Bradford Exchange. This is Raphael. And I have Saint Gabriel. I got my backup team here, you know what I'm saying? And I got Saint Michael. He's my favorite. Okay, so we're going to take a look at some stuff. Remember when my guide said some sort of explosion or something was happening and people were running for their lives? Well, that was what happened in India. Some Pakistani terrorists did something that actually hurt Muslims and they were visitors. They weren't living there. So now India has turned around and hit Pakistan, the places where they know these people are, these terrorists. I want to see how bad this. Did you see Trump today? Well, I know y'all don't like to see him, but he was talking. Oh, I just found out today that the India hit Pakistan. That's because he's asleep, and everybody tells him, "Don't interrupt him," because he's sound asleep. 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So I wanted to take a look at that. What's going to happen with that? There's something coming up pretty soon. I can feel it in my energy form. I feel an anxiousness. I feel a natural disaster taking place. And I'll take a look at that. Oh, good news. Tish James wrote me, and her new cards came in. She's sending me a deck. These cards are as good as, or if not better, than the prediction deck. She said she used them to look at Australia's voting that they had. And she said it even said that that other guy would not even win his seat back. So I'm dying to know. So we'll give it a little sneaky peek. Also, I saw my doctor yesterday. It's quite a drive to get there, but you know, he's worth it. But anyway, just the nicest guy. And he was very happy with the results so far. He said, you're going to notice even more change as time goes on. I'm like, what? Oh, I don't want to change. I just was looking for a little youth dash, you know, but I don't want to be different. So anyway, he told me to watch this show, which you guys might already know, called The Pitt. Noah Wiley, who was in ER, wrote this script. And I thought, yeah, let me give it a try. Because, you know, he knew I come from the farm, you know, a hospital that was no joke. It was a county facility. And it actually, if another hospital knew that that's where you came from, they'd hire you on the spot. Because that means you're good. In order to work there, you had to think on your feet. And back in the days, my best time was in the ER. Of course, back then, my dancing card was full. But you didn't have time to be flirty or nothing. You had to work. That place didn't mess. We had a asthma room. It seemed like I was doing nebulizer treatments all the time. You have to keep up with the patients and do Q15-minute vittles on them. And we had a OBGYN room. We had this lady come in and they found a bunch of batteries in her private. And they're like, what's these batteries? She said, because I was trying to start it up. This is no joke. This is no joke. And we also had another patient, God bless her. I had this kind of hillbilly. She was coming in for stomach pain. And this right off the turnip truck intern, just the sweetest kid. And you know, back in them days, people thought I knew what I was talking about. But anyway, so he would say, okay, Linda, I'm going to do a pregnancy test on her. And maybe that's one of the reasons she's having stomach pain. And he went back there and he came back to me and he said, you know what? The test was positive, but she's telling me she never had sex. Absolutely guarantee me that she never had sex. So I'm like, oh, no, 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 no. The miracle birth. That's the one thing I still got, you guys. My voice keeps breaking because of the intubation. So no singing, no light opera. So so I said, give me that chart. And I walked back there. I said, hey, so-and-so, how you doing, girlfriend? She said, I'm fine. And I said, what did you ask her? And he said, well, I asked her if she ever had sexual intercourse, if she, you know, blah, blah, blah. And I went back there. I said, okay, girlfriend, have you ever effed? She said, yeah. I said, you're pregnant, girl. She didn't understand the other words. He was like, oh, yeah. I said, you got to be speaking the lingo. You know what I'm saying? We had a board. They don't allow that anymore, but we had a board in the ER that basically gave you what the patient was in for. And there was a lot of what they call DFO. And what it is, you ask the patient while they're there, why are they there? And they say, I done fell out. That was, I don't know why that was a common thing. We had revolving doors, which was usually the alcoholics that would go into seizures and come back and come back and come back. But when I did an OR rotation, because I had to, because I went to L&D and we were going to be doing, we were on the 9th floor and we used to take the patients down to the 1st floor. And then finally we got trained so we could do our own crash sections. And when I came down there, the people, everybody was always so nice, but the hardest ones were the neurologists. The neurologists could be very mean. There was a neurologist that didn't like something that the scrub tech had done, and he threw the suture knife, not the suture knife, the cutting knife, and cut his hand. And so he had to cut, leave, and he had to have all kinds of stuff. And they would put up with it. And then there was a guy who was a bigwig. He was from UC Davis. He was a big shot. He used to treat the interns so bad. It wasn't even funny. It was so bad. And I felt so sorry for them. But I was setting up the table and my back was to this doctor. And he backed up into me because he was telling off a doctor and pounded into me. And, I'm not as sweet as I used to be. But if I would have thought, I should have DFO'd right over that table. You know what I'm saying? Oh, shoot. But anyway, he was a very mean guy. By the way, but just between us, I know he had a very hard death. So anyway, but most of the doctors and the dentists that used to come from UC Davis and work on the special needs patients that couldn't handle regular dentistry, funny. Everybody was great. We went through the Loma Prieta earthquake, and one of our doctors had to crawl over the 80 overpass that crushed, crawl into a car and cut the mother literally in half to get the baby out. So there's this show called The Pitt. And that is as close to what I went through as you're going to see. If you're squeamish, don't watch it because it's so real. I don't know if they got actual video of surgeries or what, but it is so real. It's like, yeah, I know that. And when I was first in the OR, if people would go on lunch and you think they always made sure, unlike others like in ER and L&D, I never got anybody to say, I got your spot, go have lunch. No, it didn't work like that. But But they would do it in the OR. They'd say, go, here's your relief, go have lunch. I would just sit in there. I wouldn't eat because, it was tough. But listen, it did take me but a couple of weeks for, and I was having my liverwurst sandwich, no problem. So anyway, you guys are probably over there. Come on, let's get on with business. But this show, The Pitt, I highly recommend it. I almost watched the whole season. I'm not quite done yet. I want to savor some for leftovers, but a very good show. And my sister just told me that Jane Austen, there's a new series, I guess PBS Jane Austen. So you guys be sure to catch that too. I love me some Jane Austen. Okay, so let's take a look. Now, apparently there has been a general that was assassinated in Russia. And I don't care how much they try to act like king, queen for a day. And yes, they've hit Zelensky, and they're doing stuff to Ukraine that's pretty hard, but it's going to get better and better. I can tell you that. It's going to be on Ukraine's side. But I don't know why he would turn around and bomb them like he's doing, and then expect them to be all, oh no, but let's not interrupt your parade. Something's going to happen in that parade. We'll take a look, okay? Tell me about India and Pakistan. Give me the scoop on that. My big squirrel's out there now. I left him some peanuts. He loves those organic peanuts. About. And you know what? He manages to keep the crows out of the way. They actually be scared of his. Get your paws off my nuts. Okay, tell me about what's going on. Okay, so I see, hold on. Okay, so I see that they're definitely going to be these terrorists within Pakistan are going to do a couple of more hits. Bad ones. They're sitting there thinking of what to do. Pakistan doesn't feel like I guess, has this been going on for ancient times? Pakistan feels like they best not mess with India because India feels stronger to me. Yeah, there's going to be some hits here and there. I know a lot of people were frightened and saying, Linda, is this war? It's an inside war, so to speak. They've always kind of been at war. It's a lot of struggles, but it's no explosion. It's something that I see them being able to wipe out a good portion of the terrorists. That's what I'm seeing. Can you tell me? Let's look at this one. Prediction deck. So I got that hit about people running, and that's what pissed India off. They went in and hit these innocent people. They just don't like that. I can't wait to get Tish's new cards. Battle warship. So there will be some more battling, but I see India hitting Pakistan and hitting places where they know these people are hiding, like Israel does on the Gaza Strip. By the way, Israel said, we're going in and we're taking over. They can say that to their blue in the face. I don't see it happening. They may begin something, but I see them being pushed out. It could even be they're in there for a year, 2 years, but I see other nations coming in saying, nope. Didn't Egypt say they wouldn't put up with it? I see other nations, including the United States, when the United States gets to wake up again. Things will return to normal, so don't worry, you guys. Stay put and listen, look at this. There will be a good outcome. So this isn't like, oh, is this the beginning, is this the beginning of the end? No. They're focused on specific sites. That's what I can tell you. I could be wrong, entertainment purposes only. But they're focused on specific sites. Okay, now, you guys sent some good questions, by the way. I hope everybody's doing okay. Now DT is trying to pull a fast one using military airplane to send these people to Libya. Yes, this madness will get stopped, Gail. They're looking at Libya. They're looking at several places. They want to just put them on a military and ship them out. This won't last very long, a year if that, but I see Trump being pushed out and all countries saying enough. Apparently Libya is worse than El Salvador. So yes, eventually, but there will be some people that pay the price. Okay. Oh, that sweet darling wants to know the family that got raided. Will they get their items back? They haven't got their items back yet. Let me take 3 of these. Listen, a lot of these people are not, what are they, DHS, or they're not, these people are warriors. They're the ones that, the Proud Boys. These people are undercover nobodies that like a little power and try to show off. That's what I'm going to tell you. Tell me what. Well, these people in Oklahoma. I see, did somebody open a GoFundMe? Because I do see money coming in, but it feels like it's gifted to them. I see an attorney working on this for them. Let's look. By mistake, and yet they wouldn't take any. They will not. Somebody already took that money. Somebody pocketed that money for themselves. They're trying to act stupid, hoping it'll go away. The government is involved here. Rising waters. People are keeping quiet. Tension will escalate. It's about the money. They want these people just to shut up. Like, just be quiet and we won't bother you anymore. I almost feel like somebody might have said to them, just be quiet. It's weird. Tell me what I can tell everybody. About this poor family in Oklahoma. Somebody is helping them. I see them being put right. But their actual stuff, I feel like they have to buy new phones and everything. So there's good news in here, along with the feeling that they were violated, They're going to move. Down the road, there's a man here that makes sure that they are made right. I think these people will have to pay some cash into their pocket, but it might not happen until next year. But I see some man overseeing this, making them be righted. Yeah, Wonder Woman, Marco Rubio's soul is gone. If you look at his eyes, he's gone. He's not doing very well at all. He's just not. He's just flatlined. And there's an ugliness that none of us quite saw in him that's out there, living color. Everybody's like, damn, was he really that ugly? Yeah. Stephen Miller, we always knew this guy is a snake in the grass. We've always known that. Let's look at the outcome from Marco Rubio. I got my new postage stamps. It's the powwow celebrating Native American culture. Anything Native American I buy, including John F. Kennedy, Marilyn Monroe. Angel of Light and Mercy. Angel of Light and Mercy. What's going to happen to Marco Rubio? Unexpected result. Well, he's not running for anything. He's not running it for the greater good will take over. All for the money. Somebody's sliding him money under the table. That's a shame. He's being underground hiding. He's being spied on. Everybody knows his dirty laundry. Look at, they keep showing returns to normal. Down the road, all this will be okay, but he's going to be a goner. He goes in the column of shame. I don't see anything horrible happening. Like he probably could go to jail, but right now I don't see it. I see the India-Pakistan escalating and then calming down. So that's what I see. Somebody just wrote about it. I don't know why I always had that. Okay. Will the American people be able to recoup any money that is wasted by Doge? And I'm telling you, they wasted money. And what I see is, Trump was even telling people, oh, you'll get a check from all this savings. People are going to probably get 18. Nobody's getting a check. Mark my words. Nobody is getting a check. And Elon's in hiding as we speak. Trump is just going, he's not even suffering. He's just going with the flow. Like he just said, he just found out about Pakistan and India. That's because he just woke up. That guy sleeps till noon. So recoup money? No, they're going to go in and take care of business. There's a lot of work that's going to need to be done for us to regroup from what has happened by these people. Thank you, Deborah. Wait, this is Cecilia. Who wins the pro-Trump legal suit against John Roberts? How is Roberts feeling about this lawsuit? He's shaking his head. He's in disgust. I will tell you this. I just heard this. I just heard someone say, oops, he messed with the wrong people. True, they don't have their own legitimate army, but they can fight him. They can fight him. There is, I'm telling you, The Hague is getting ready to do something with Trump within the next few months. I see something coming up, some information being talked about. This John Roberts thing literally feels like a nothing burger. Because what he's saying is, I'm king and you need to let me do what I want, and that's not true. And why would it be stupid to do that? Because now they're not going to vote anything yes with him. Yeah, I saw that. 2 planes went down on the U.S. carrier near Yemen. They actually fell off the ship, right? Hatchworth is about ready to be gone. Did you hear that they're saying, this is not affirmed, but they're saying that he's not giving the money to Zelensky that he's supposed to, that he's holding back. He was supposed to hand over something. Let me tell you something. Zelensky's not stupid. And if they really think they're going to hold on to the money or not give what they agreed to do after we signed these paperworks, that America get their fat, gross hands on their mineral rights, they won't work with them. They will make sure this thing just turns around. Don't you worry. The planes feels like an honest to God accident. It feels like an honest to God accident. Nobody died either, right? Feels like it's an honest to God accident. Somebody just said, who is this? Susan just said, I'm really worried about Hedgehog getting rid of key people, key generals, etc. But listen, they're not going to go in the corner and lay down. They're all working on something that's getting ready to come up. Just like in Russia, there's been an assassination of a general, and Zelensky knows about it. There's something coming up with Trump too, not assassination, but like I feel Hedgehog might be in trouble. Okay. Trump said he has a very big announcement to make by the end of the week. I think I heard this before his trip to the Middle East. What do you think? Ooh, maybe that's where they're going to hit Trump. Is he going to Russia? What's the very big announcement? I'm going to tell you something right now. Trump laid over for Canada when the Canadian Prime Minister came here. I saw him just lay over. And he's going to claim that he made a deal when Canada said, look, this is how it's going to go. He tried to say, yeah, we've been given to Canada, and the Prime Minister totally shut him down and told the truth, which Trump can't stand. And then if you'll notice, Marco Rubio and J.D. Vance didn't say a word. They didn't tell him off like they did Zelensky. I'll never forgive them for that. Okay, a very big announcement. What's the announcement? Very big announcement. What's the announcement? Military action? Don't tell me he's going to try to throw something like, by the way, we're on our way to Greenland. Some sort of planning for military action. What's the outcome of that? Explosive situation. Let me look at these cards. What is going to happen? What's this huge announcement? What is Trump's huge announcement? He's bragging. He thinks he's all that in a cup of tea. Some decision has been made. Okay. Did you see what they did to that Linda McMahon that works for the Department of Education? she wrote a letter to Harvard, and Harvard corrected her and sent it back. Oh, I bet that pissed her off. What a beautiful thing they did. It could involve a female, and it's something that he thinks he's going to get money, or he's talking about money. Something to do with money, and there could be a female involved, a new beginning on something, or he's going to try to act like, hey, you guys, you know, he lies about everything, so you can't believe a word he says, which is a shame. Okay, so that one I have. Now let's do Beto O'Rourke is running for, will Beto O'Rourke run for Texas Senator? John Cornyn's seat. Cornog is up for re-election next year. If Beto does run, will he win? He did say he recently at a town hall in Texas, if they want him to run, he'll run. I've always seen Beto win something. Tell me, will Beto run against Corn Dog? And let me tell you, that thing they talk about on this show is the sandwiches. They were terrible sandwiches, but those patients were, all they wanted was their sandwich. And on this show, that's what they got. They always want the sandwich. Somebody said no egg salad. We have that. They never did egg salad. You got a piece of bologna or a peanut butter and jelly. Okay, so he's gone through a lot. He's going through some heartache. It feels like it's in his family. I wonder if him and his wife are getting along. Well, if he runs, he could win, that's for sure. But right now he's going through some disappointment. So I don't know if there's trouble in the family, but maybe we'll hear about it. But he's if he runs, he'll win. If Beto runs for office, will he win? Good outcome. There you go. That's what I'm talking right there. No, Trump had nothing to do with the war between India and Pakistan. They know better than to talk to him. Listen, they may have their issues, but they're not that crazy. Oh, thank you, Denise. Denise just said, are the people in Trump's regime finally seeing the writing on the walls? Are they scared yet? I know MTG is not happy and complaining, but she is still MAGA. And by the way, I can't, this could be hearsay, but they're saying that MTG is running for Senate, which I hope she does because she will lose. I hope she does because she will lose. These people have no idea how wiped out they're going to be. They always got off by the chair of their chinny chin chin or lying and cheating like they did in Texas. Texas really isn't a red state, but they cheated and told them they couldn't vote, and it was terrible. Anyway, don't worry, things are going to change. Yeah, so you guys are talking about John Roberts is going to win, and John Roberts will sign the paperwork for when they go in there and arrest him and get him out of there. Yeah. Well, listen, I'm sorry, Catherine. She said, I just keep waiting and waiting. It's not nothing but negative and negative. I understand you guys. That's when you turn off the TV. That's when you watch some other show and just stay away. I love Lawrence O'Donnell, but sometimes I just don't feel like doing it anymore. I need the information for this show so I can tell you guys what's going on, but I totally understand your frustration. And we did say it was going to be bad the first 6 months. Didn't we say it's going to be rough? And then all of a sudden, bada bing, bada boom. Listen, El Salvador is going to release, they're not killing these people, but they're going to release them. And where they're going to release him, because they know he's not going to last. He's too cray-cray. And when he goes, they're going to say, okay, well, pay us this money and we'll give you back. And they will. I don't see nukes going off with Pakistan and India. I do not see it. They think about it, but the problem is one starts, it doesn't end. And I've never seen nuke. I could be wrong. I could be wrong, but the guides and the ETs have assured me they wouldn't allow it. Somebody sent me some paperwork that showed that the ETs actually help keep a lot of these sun things that are happening to the earth, a lot of the stuff that's being spewed on the earth. I definitely feel earthquake. I know I always say that. But I see a good size one, unexpected, coming up pretty soon. They always happen, doesn't matter. If you say earthquake, it's a done deal. Okay. Yeah, John Fetterman. John Fetterman isn't right, you guys. And he wouldn't win if he ran again. He's not right in the head. Even his wife knows it. He's not, I don't know when he goes up again, but he's not going to win. I actually see him getting sick again. Julia said, I watched Andre's 2 posts yesterday, and then I looked at the planetary placement for Trump's natal and progress charts for the week of September 2nd. At that point, Saturn is in 29 degrees Pisces, which is an anaretic or critical degree, which is karmic. Good. It squares his ascendant with all the other placements. I think that if he's still around then, that week will be hard to survive. Ooh, Julia, your words to God's mouth. Wait, your words to God's ears, not God's mouth. We shouldn't wish bad, but he's such a bad person, you know? And the thing is, when he's gone, nobody can take over for him. They think they all have it, but they fall apart, literally fall apart. Yeah, Stephen Miller is straight up evil. And he is the ear. He has Trump's ears. So he thinks he's king for a day, kind of like Bannon did. So he's busy talking into Trump's ears. You need to do this and you need to do this. But actually, he's already boring Trump, so I'm not quite sure what he's doing. But I feel Trump like not listening to him as much. We will get our privacy again. Our data has already been compromised. But I just feel like it's going to take several years. They'll really redo all this. It's going to be okay, you guys. Oh, the head of the Proud Boys met with Trump because he needs his team. He needs his backup boys to come out and fighting. You know, he thinks they'll stand up for him is what. And this guy apparently thanked him for getting him out of jail and basically said, whatever you need. But there's more of us than there are of them. There's more good people than there are bad people. Okay. A lot of you guys are asking the same questions. Do you know who I think thinks that he could win as president is Pence. He might try to run on the Republican side. And maybe Liz Cheney will run. You guys don't say Armageddon. Don't think this is the end of anything. This is very stressful. This is very hard for all of us to take, but this will soothe out, okay? It's not going to last even for a year. It's going to soothe out. Listen, somebody just said, did the government build a community under the ground for the rich? I'm sure they have stuff like that, but who would want to be? Who would work for them? Who would clean their laundry and take out the trash? When there's a major Armageddon thing happening, which I don't see right now, I do not see that. But sometimes it's better just to go and not be there, not have to deal with this. I wouldn't want to hang around. I'm too old. I don't want to be in people's way. Okay. Yeah, listen, the issue right now in Newark is going to be handled and taken care of slowly but surely. When those people had no way of knowing where their planes were, they went out on leave, which I don't blame them. A lot of them want to stay out permanently. There's a lot of fighting in the FAA. A lot of people don't want to be there. This will all pan out and they'll have even more staff within the year. You know, the tariffs on the movie business, and he talked all that. I don't see them putting pen to paper. He may have done an executive order, but that doesn't mean nothing. I see people being able to do what they want. Nobody cares what Trump thinks. That's what I'm getting. Yeah, I see China working with Trump on the tariffs. I do see that. There's some sort of agreement there, but not huge. I mean, there's still going to be lack of, but it's not going to be as bad as 2008. I've told you guys this till I'm blue in the face. 2008 was terrible. People were losing their homes. It's going to be okay. I don't want you guys to worry. Will Russia create a barrage of bombings on Ukraine on May 9th? I think they're going to bomb. I don't know about Moscow, but I've had a bad feeling about Moscow. I feel something's coming up. No, Trump isn't going to be able to finish the 280 million trees being cut down. He's starting, but it's not. I see all kinds of lawsuits stopping him. They're going to make this last, and then he's gone. Remember, he was going to do that before. He was already up at having drilling done at the Grand Canyon. Yulia Navalny. I think she'll go in there and really help rule. I think she'll eventually rule or be part of the ruling class in Russia. Has anybody heard about Assad? You notice not a word about him. Look at that. Not a word about him. I don't know if he's still with us. I've often had a feeling he's not around. Yeah, so many lawsuits are coming up. And listen, betwixt you and me, John Roberts will listen to all this. John Roberts isn't going to say, nah, we're not. John Roberts is saying, come in, have a seat. Tell me what it is that he's doing. What do you think that's not fair? What he's stopping? And they're going to vote against him and against him and against him. Maybe Thomas and the other one will vote for him, but it's going to be pretty ugly. So All right, you guys. Everything's going good right now. We're steady, okay? But we'll see what this big announcement. The thing is, he lies while he breathes. So it could be nothing burger. I'm not feeling like it's huge. I don't feel like it's huge, but I feel something huge is coming up. It could be a natural circumstance like an earthquake, but I feel something is coming up. Before May 9th, I'll sit down and look hard with the cards. Okay, you guys, I love you all. I'll be back. Tomorrow is my 3 o'clock is my membership A, B, C, D, E, F at 3 o'clock Pacific time. We come on live and I do my 3 card. Okay, love you all. Cheers.